Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda. Well, that is their agenda, and we need to get our liberties back, guys. That's straight off the bat. All right, just a big shout out to Brom Holman for Monday night show, guys. And then Franco for helping out last night. And I thought that was a great show last night. I was very impressed, actually, sitting back watching that. I thought Frank really hit a few things. And Caz are right on the dial, mate. This is a spiritual war. We really need to come together, but it is coming together, guys. All right. It looks like we got a pretty big thing coming. We're going to make a lot of noise by the look of it. We're going to have a lot of, petition signatures and stuff. So just keep praying on it. All right. And I'll tell you why, because listen, you all understand, and I'm not going to go too much into this, but I just want to continue on from Frank last night, right? Ephesians, I think it was, I know the plans I have for you. His words. He knows the plans he has for you. Our problem, and my problem, right, is I got great plans, okay? I've created franchise companies. I've had winning go-kart things. I've had a belt drive system with Wayne Gardner and, Marco Greco in Italy. And, and you can do all these things, guys, but all these things are absolutely nothing. I'm on the biggest journey of my life right now, right? And what it is all about listening to God, okay? Because you have all been selected. And if you start doing what you want to do, he's going to back you into a corner. Now, that corner could be a great corner, and it will be at the end of the day. It will be. But did Jonah really have to go and spend his 3 nights in the whale? Couldn't he just, headed off to Nivea and done what he had to do? He ended up there anyway. Some really vital lessons that we're learning through the spiritual war, guys. And one of them is start listening to the good Lord. Okay, he has a plan for you, and he does. All right, we got some stuff on the show tonight to show you. Again, you guys know most of it, but we've got Latouf, that lady from the ABC. She's won $750,000, I think. The ABC's had to back down there, lost it. Albo's committed us to war, guys. He's just saying that we'll just have to send over whatever we got to send. We got Trump, who I don't think is Trump anyway, because, yeah, funny thing going on there. But anyway, we won't go into that. We got other things to talk about, but dropping F-bombs. We got tradie wars at the Castle Hill fight. We got stabbings everywhere. We got a lot of work to do, guys. All right, a lot of work. And something, we'll get into it now, but something, I'll tell you what, I want to also just thank this lady sitting over here straight from me. And if I hit the button and put her in there, she's going to freak out. But, yeah, guys, if you've got a woman like this, man, you're in good hands, all right? She is an absolute legend. I couldn't be doing what I'm doing without her. And I want to give you something that we found out a long time ago, guys. And everyone says that when you got a relationship, it's 50-50. Well, listen to me. If you want to fail, go 50-50. You want to succeed, it's 100-100. All right. And that's the same with God, the same with any relationship. All right. You're going to put in 50%, expect to fail. All right. Because 50% ain't 100%. All right. And this bullshit that these councils tell you, it's a 50-50 thing. Bullshit. 100-100, guys. Let's get it into our life. All right. Get in here, Caz. I'll just keep talking all night. I haven't had 2 shows. I'm just like ready to go. Right.
You're right. Look, we've got heaps of news. And look, shout out to Renegade Rosie. She's hitting it out at the park again with calling into 2SM.
Rosie?
Hello. Thanks for having me on, Brent. Very relevant to the previous caller. Yesterday, with a group of 35 people, we were outside the ABC protesting the fact that they are not covering the deaths, the bereavements and the injuries from the COVID vaccines. There was no one under 65. The ABC journalists hid inside that glass wall because they were frightened. They thought we were dangerous. These people are a joke. Anyway, we waited, and we heard back from someone who said people are ringing in, and the ABC, who are paid by us, were slamming the phone down, not wanting to talk to the public who are paying their salaries. These people are beyond disgusting, and it's time for everyone to hold the media to account. We had signs there saying Chris Smith is a hero. He's the only man with a spine. Very pleased, Brent, that you're allowing people to tell the truth while you're on that same platform. Fantastic work from 2SM. We promote you everywhere as the only media who has a backbone. So thank you so much for being brave enough to counter the narrative. Forest the Fallen and all the vaccine injured are very grateful to you guys. You are an example to the media, and let's hope some of them show enough courage to follow your footsteps.
Thank you, Rosie. Again. Thank you. Yep, I suppose in many ways I'm filling in for Chris, but I agree with a lot that Chris has got to say, and I agree with a lot of Chris's opinions, particularly in reference to the COVID side of things. So I'm glad your protest was, in one way, successful yesterday, Rosie.
It was. I think we got our point across and showed them up to be the cowards that the media are showing themselves to be. So again, thank you for having me on. I know you're short of time, so I won't hold you up.
That's our people.
That's our people. Now, I think after we get Jodie's little thing out the road, guys, right, what we might work on, and, you know, we can give it away. We don't care. We don't mind telegraphing. We're in this war. You know, I stand on the front foot. But maybe just an all-out peaceful ring around. Yeah, and we just start and get every radio station. We just start ringing into every talkback radio station and get the topics going. You know, after we do this thing at Jodie's, it might be a good idea. Have a think about it. It's not hard, guys. It's not hard. You people can talk. You're well educated. So, yep, it's for us to be in doing. Rosie's unreal. She's magic.
She's a legend. Jodie has made an interesting analogy.
We've got Terra Australis people locked up for 4 or 5 days because they don't have a license in the corporate system, and yet this guy doesn't serve a single day after murdering an innocent woman.
Will not spend 1 day in jail, instead sentenced to a 2-year community corrections order, a good behaviour bond, and will have to complete 425 hours of community service for the fatal tasering of Claire Nowlan, the 95-year-old, in her Cooma nursing home in May 2023. Christian White, a former police officer, was facing a maximum of 25 years behind bars. But in sentencing today, Justice Ian Harrison said a custodial sentence was disproportionate to the act that he had been convicted of, and that the 35-year-old does not pose a risk of reoffending, is not a danger to the community, and found he did show remorse in an apology letter made to the Nowland family. He also found that despite this act being unlawful, and found that it was unnecessary to use such force on a 95-year-old. He also referenced victim impact statements made by the family, but ultimately said that a custodial sentence would be particularly onerous for the former police officer. Now, in court, as that sentence was handed down, Claire Nowland's family burst into tears and started sobbing and hugging each other. Christian White's wife also bursting into tears. But outside court, Claire Nowland's family have described this as a kangaroo court and are incredibly disappointed by this outcome.
Now, of course, what Jodie's referring to is this situation. I do apologise. I didn't get it out the other day. Sometimes I miss some stuff. So, look, what it is this is Nathan David, and he's in Rockhampton Watch House until Tuesday, or he may still be in there. He was arrested for car issues, denied bail, being transferred to Capricornia Corrections Centre on Tuesday. Next hearing is the 21st of August. That's 2 months away. Now, Mona has put together an email for people to email in, and we have that. So if you put your name into there, I will get an email from you, and I will send you the email to forward to the court or the custodians,
Cool.
whoever's got him. Yeah, so.
Yeah, let's just keep moving, guys. All out assault. That's what it is from us. Peaceful assault. Let's just go.
And I missed this. This is a Forest of the Fallen outside of Channel 7. Freaking legends.
Not wrong. It's unreal. This is great, guys. As I say, we're just going to keep pushing. We're going to be pushing hard.
Yeah. And look, you've got this situation. This is ridiculous where these people are like, you can't film. This is crazy.
Oh, yeah. This guy does go out and cause a bit of controversy, but he's within his rights.
I'd rather not say.
Okay. Well, we believe that you are. We believe that you've attended council buildings and you've been filming stuff, which is a form of harassment, and you've been directed to not attend any council buildings.
Well, that's false. I mean, me peacefully engaged in a lawful activity, filming in a public space, the law says I can.
No, previously you've been issued a notice. It's a form of trespass.
Yeah, but I was just filming right now in the publicly accessible area of this publicly owned building that I am part owner of. I have the right to do a story on the building.
So previously you've been issued a notice to say you can't attend a council building.
Yeah.
I've got a copy of the notice.
Yeah. I mean, if I did receive, it would have been for the same thing, filming in public.
Well, I've got another notice today.
Yeah.
It's got all the information in it to say that you can't attend a council premises. It's a form of harassment when you're filming staff.
Yeah, that's false. I mean, is it a form of harassment when I film people in public?
Matter, but if they're going to serve you an order to say that you're not supposed to be here anymore, I can't force them and say, please don't go back in there filming people.
Yeah, but he's saying that me filming people in public is harassment. What do you mean? Harassment is not a police matter.
This is a
it's
council matter.
law, sir.
They can set their own orders in place to say that you can't be attending buildings that
No,
they
but
manage.
can you correct him that me peacefully engaged in a lawful activity and filming people in a public setting cannot be determined as harassment?
Notice that I'm not arresting you. Notice that I'm not demanding your address.
Yeah.
Or anything like
But
that,
can you
which
just
I would
tell
do
him?
if you were committing a crime.
Right.
I'm not going to correct his language for you. You can disagree with it all you like. He's not breaking
Why?
the law.
You're law enforcement.
But
this
he's not breaking the law.
He is. He's violating the law. The Human Rights Charter says that I can wear a body cam my whole life, sir. The law says I can do this.
In charge of public
But they're
buildings.
violating the
Public
law.
council buildings, they're in charge of. And if they give an order that says that you're not to be in here filming anymore, that's well within
Yeah,
their
but
rights
look
to
at
do.
what he's
Take it
saying.
up with the council and the court if you disagree with it. This is not a police matter.
It is. They're violating my rights, sir.
you
Did
can-
you swear an oath to protect my human
Mate,
rights?
I'm done having this conversation.
Did you swear an oath to protect my human rights?
I'm
yes
done
or no?
having this conversation.
Oh, you won't answer that.
Yeah, well, you don't want to answer any of my questions.
What questions? I'll answer. What question?
That's fine. Listen, are you going to take the order from him? And listen to what
No.
he has
Can
to
I
say?
get your name and badge
Of course
number?
you can. Of course you can.
You can just verbalise it, please.
No. I'd like to write it down.
I'd like you to verbalise it for the camera.
Senior Constable Ethan Lockyer, 44280.
And what
St Kilda
station?
Police Station.
Thank you. And yours, sir?
Constable Aaron Sandu, St Kilda Police Station, 49800.
Thank you.
Needs to go
Thank
viral. This.
Alex, here's a copy of the notice.
I don't want it, mate.
You don't want it?
No.
Okay, so I'm just letting you know there's a notice to say you can't attend a council building.
For how long? 1 year. So from before last time, it's already been a year.
That was the 1 year. This started from today now.
Yeah. So you've got him working still after he threatened to take. I've got it on camera that he threatened to take my phone out of my hand. You said I will stop recording, or I will take your phone out of your hand. It's on camera.
I did not. I said stop filming because you're putting your hand on the windows to film staff and our computer screens inside. You're breaching your privacy.
Yeah, watch this, guys.
Stop doing that. More than 100 times.
You told. I have it on camera. Are you saying that you will take the phone out of my hand if I don't?
No.
So now he's lying.
Absolutely not. Can you turn your phone off because you're not comfortable?
No.
Turn your phone off. Yeah.
Now he's lying.
Absolutely not. You the liar.
So Alex, no details if you want.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is what we're up against, guys.
No.
You know, this guy does go around, right? And he does go out to council buildings, films outside, walks inside. He goes into cop shops. He's scared of nothing. And he's trying to make the point. And you can just see there, the cops just don't want to know about it. You know what I mean? I'm not getting into that conversation. Well, who did you swear your oath to, mate? You know, that guy did. If you watch the rest of the video, the guy lied in there. You know what I mean? You know, they were trying to muscle him out inside. And, congratulations, bloke. I don't really know who you are, but well done. You know, because this is what's making awareness, guys. You know, we need people to... And he's very cool, calm, and collected how he does it. You know, he pushes them right to the limit. You know what I mean? And no one's really arrested him yet because I've watched a few of his videos. So, yeah, well done, mate.
Yeah, that's good. Look, we've got this situation here where there's been farm invasions now, and it's just really quite violent and really interesting.
A farmer has been dragged from his home, bundled into his boot and doused in petrol during a home invasion. As Julia Passarelli reports, 3 armed intruders then torched his house at Yea, northeast of Melbourne, before fleeing with his guns.
Decades of cherished memories burnt to the ground in a horrific attack.
Horrible. You think in the country stuff like this wouldn't happen, but here we are.
This melted mess, all that's left of a farmer's Yea home, torched by 3 thieves who stormed his property just after 1 a.m.
2 of them were armed with firearms and 1 was armed with a machete. They demanded cash and firearms from the 68-year-old victim.
When he refused to hand that over, police say they became violent. The father then assaulted and dragged into the boot of his car.
The victim got out of the vehicle and was threatened again. The offenders poured petrol onto the victim and then fled the scene in a vehicle.
He somehow wasn't seriously hurt and drove to a house nearby for help. His dogs and cows also uninjured. Police say the masked trio stole 3 firearms from the property and fled in a car. They believe this was a targeted attack, but the victim didn't know the offenders.
Terrifying. Again, not sure why they've approached his address.
Because he had guns, and the Greens basically pushed through a law which basically targets people, which shows who's got guns. Like, they went for the guns. They wanted the guns. Okay, Dave.
They did. I was just going to answer. I think it was Eva Zoo's question. What was that bloke's name? Collaborative Observations is his name on TikTok, guys. So yeah, he needs spreading around. So yeah, if you can help him out, go and share it around.
Now there's another one that's happened that's very interesting as well, and certainly raises a lot of questions here. But in Mallorca, there's bodies found floating with hands and feet bound at a tourist hotspot. So very interesting what's going on. There's odd things that are turning up everywhere at the moment. And of course you've got Susan Ley, who is now the Liberal leader. Well, why is she bothering to put on the notification of being a Liberal leader? Because she's actually just Labor light. Listen to this.
The area that demands stronger government intervention is the protection of our children from devices and technology. The rise of digital technology and social media has changed the world and unlocked so much potential. But in opening those doors, strangers have unfortunately been let into the lives of our children. We have allowed some of the smartest people in the world to make billions of dollars by peddling addictive technology to children. And it is shortening their childhoods. Parents need government in their corner to help fight this fight. We're seeing AI technology commoditise our kids and deep fakes ruin the lives of women. Prime Minister, when it comes to standing up for women and children, I am ready to work with you. I invite you to accept my invitation in good faith.
You gaslight.
Yeah, no, they are. And of course, Jules is as well. She's basically been gaslighting everyone as well.
Olivia Island from the SMH and the Age.
Thank you, Commissioner, for your speech. A part of the Trump administration's push for free speech has said that they've threatened retaliation against people who impinge on online speech. Are you concerned about being able to return to the US yourself, or what might happen if you were to go to the US?
Well, I guess the way I look at the Online Safety Act, and next week we are experiencing our 10-year anniversary. We were created by a democratically elected parliament as an independent statutory authority. The laws that we administer through the Online Safety Act are passed by the parliament and the thresholds. My goal is to help Australians have safer, more positive experiences online. And yes, we're dealing with difficult issues around speech. We're not regulating. Regulating DEI. We're not regulating political content, opinions, journalistic content. This is purely about harm targeting Australian individuals. So with cyberbullying, it's menacing her.
But she was regulating it. That's what Celine won. They lobbied Twitter to remove her stuff.
Yeah. Oh, we got some work to do, guys. Yeah, she's ex-CIA. That's right. Half the people wouldn't know, but then half the people in the country probably think that the CIA is a good thing, guys. You you got to understand, we've all been duped, and you have been given the job of waking people up.
She's never admitted to being CIA. What she has admitted to is that she did apply to there.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then you got this guy.
Does that mean
Sano.
she got knocked back, or does that mean she just done a little, like silhouette stint, Caz? Like
it would be interesting to find out, wouldn't it? So this is Brett Sutton, and he now wants to launch Coalition for Trust in Science. And Voice for Victoria have stated that. So this guy was outed as approving the curfew 100% puppeteered by the politicians with zero evidence for science and affecting millions of lives. Why are these people still free? Like, why haven't they been charged? Like, what the hell is wrong? Our politicians, our police are running around nabbing people for filming, and then we've got these monkeys walking around free.
You know why? Serious answer. It's because God's waiting for people to open their friggin' eyes to see the evil that is going on in this world and actually stand with him and with us and everybody else and make a difference. And until then, Caz, this is on, mate. This is on. The devil's having a field day.
Well, it is interesting, isn't it? Because Chris Minns is very upset. Listen to this.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm disappointed about the circumstances that have led to my staff in a punitive manner, and don't take my word for it. Listen to the chair of the committee who said the reason they're being called is because I won't appear before the committee. So in a punitive way, pulling in staffers to this upper house inquiry. I think that the very troubling information that staff would be arrested and held potentially overnight via police custody is a massive overreach, and obviously.
So it's a massive overreach if it happens to them, but it's not a massive overreach if it happens to us.
No, just take everything off us. We don't deserve a thing, mate. Not a thing, Cazza.
It's just insane. It's just insanity world. And then you've got Justina Allen. Sorry, guys. Look, we've just got to...
We're showing the stupidity, yeah.
We just got to get through, like, our politicians, because they're horrible.
deserve the dignity of an affordable and comfortable home, and particularly at a time when more and more Victorians are renting. That is why introducing minimum efficient energy standards for the rental market is an important part of the reforms we're making, particularly too in a cost of living crisis. Renters deserve this focus on supporting them to drive down their energy bills. And so from the 1st of March 2027, these new efficiency standards will apply to rental properties. It covers standards for cooling, for insulation, and also enhances the standards around heating. And all of this comes from being focused on what matters most.
Ripping off the economy to the best you can to put it all in your pockets. That's what it's all about, guys. And you're right involved with it, darling.
And as if renters are not having enough struggles as well, because now you've got this where 7 in 10 Aussies are scared to hit up their landlord about repairs for fear of rent increase. Like, it's just insane.
Cutting gas for new developments.
That's exactly right. So you've got Sydney. Clover Moore, Major Sydney Council bans the use of indoor gas appliances in new buildings from 2026, with offices and hotels next in line.
Yeah.
So,
and there's already pockets of Victoria and that they're doing this with, Caz. We mentioned them 4 or 5 months ago, mate. That'll all be coming on too, you know.
Well, like it's not as if we haven't. It's not as if we haven't been warning about this. Now we just had the story about with regards to that farm incident, and you've got this situation about the castle law that's been proposed. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on, actually. Just as an aside, in Queensland at the moment. So you have this situation, first of all, where this person has resigned. So you've got Queensland Parliament, Fiona Simpson resigns from Shadow Cabinet. She's announced her resignation from the Shadow Cabinet position. I don't know really quite what's going on there, but you also have this situation about the castle law going on in Queensland.
On a story I brought you last week about the proposed castle law in Queensland. It's a bill backed by the Katter Party which would protect homeowners from prosecution if they use force to protect their family and their property from intruders. I'll remind you what I said last week. You know, I've never understood this idea that someone can break into your house and you don't have the right to stop them, essentially. Because the moment you cause them harm, you'll be arrested. You'll face the courts and possibly jail, especially if you hurt them a lot in self-defense. Now, you can argue it and a judge and a jury might find in your favour, but it's a very real risk that if someone broke into your home and you did a lot of damage and possibly killed them, you're facing a murder charge. And I just can't understand that. Your home is meant to be a safe place for you, your family, your kids, and the people inside it. And when someone breaks that trust of coming into your home, as far as I'm concerned, all bets are off. What a handsome man.
We'll leave that there. All bets are off. Exactly right. So look, I think what we might do is we might just bring in the flyers early because we've got a lot on. So we'll just
get them going.
Now. And the Mondays at Maggie's crew is calling for tools down. It's time to stand together. A corrupt and tyrannical government is crushing industries, stripping freedoms and silencing voices. This affects every worker and every business. New South Wales under a corrupt government. Enough is enough. We won't stay silent and we demand action. So join us every Monday at the Governor's House in Sydney at 11 a.m. And on Mondays, don't forget Mondays at Maggie's, the Frank and Charles podcast. They will be hitting the streets this week. Mondays at Maggie's. And the FUCCP page is up and running. Freedom Unites Cairns to Canberra Parade. The first leg is on Friday to Sunday, Townsville to Toowoomba, 27th to the 29th of June. The second leg will be Friday to Sunday, the 4th to the 6th of July, from Toowoomba to Canberra. And there will be an event held by Down Under Reform in Sydney to protest for zero immigration until housing affordability is restored. This will be on Saturday, July 12th, 2025, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And Dissection has more news and awards and finalists in the following festivals. Documentaries Without Borders Film Festival on September the 14th. It is official selection. Impact Docs Awards, California, USA official selection for Best Documentary finalist, which will be on August the 12th, 2025. And the White Rose International Film Festival in Yorkshire, UK. Official selection for Best Documentary finalist, Best Cinematography runner-up. That date is on August 9th, 2025. And in Victoria, we have the following events. In Melbourne, gather at the Governor's every Saturday to end the tyranny. 10 a.m. every Saturday at the Governor Gates. And join the Justice of the People in Melbourne every Sunday at 4:30 p.m. for a remembrance at the Shrine of Remembrance, lest we forget. And there is a court call-out for Eric and Serena. The court case is on next Monday, the 30th of June at 2 p.m, Tuesday the 1st of July and Wednesday the 2nd of July. Daily prayer space is held on X at 3 p.m. So whatever you're facing, come along and we can lift you up in prayer. Every day, 3 p.m. on X. Melissa 146233923.
That's good. We got plenty of stuff happening. We got all the, the Forest of the Fallen. I would love to try and get someone to do a count on how many there is because, I reckon we'd be getting probably close to 150 or more goes around the place. I don't know, but I would imagine there's a lot out there that we don't even know about, because it's took off. That doesn't mean they know about us. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Well, it's interesting. You wonder how long they're going to be able to hold back the tide of people knowing, because you've got this situation here where Robert Malone has been appointed the co-chair of the CDCD Advisory Committee on vaccines.
Well, let's see what happens there.
Exactly, yeah. Now you've also got this situation where so what's happened here is parents are pushing back is the headline on vaccines. So a growing number they question they're refusing immunisations for childhood diseases. Well, that's because they've done their research. And then you've also got, and then there's this one here where it's actually starting to get into mainstream, where experts issue warning that COVID vaccine may trigger deadly brain inflammation after man was struck down by just one jab. So they're carrying the story, and they haven't really been doing that before. So it's very interesting what's happening at the moment.
And Terry White's out there, and the rest of these idiots. Who's that Ellie Langdon, mate? I tell you what, she owes Kelly a big apology, but they're all out there spruiking to go and get your flu shots. No amnesty, no amnesty, no amnesty. These guys have had time enough to know, and they know. You can't tell me the scuttlebutt or the backroom chatter around the place ain't about how they're keeping all this, talking about it, but keeping it as quiet as they can, Caz. You know what I mean? So, we know.
I know. Look, you also have this situation here where Jackie Dundee has put out this call, and she said anyone coming from South Australia to Canberra that go through the Murray Bridge, please contact Wade. So, guys, I didn't include that in the flyers for this week, but I forgot to mention it when that was on. So, guys, just get on to that. And the other thing, of course, is the food. So you got the government's basically going to give us lab-grown meat.
Yep.
In Australia.
Yep.
In Australia.
It's insanity. It's insanity.
It is insanity.
How are they getting this through? I got no idea. We should be all out in the streets, just blocking up. Anyway, I won't say it, but yeah. Mate, when's Australia going to wake up to what they're doing to you? They're killing you guys. They're poisoning you. They're killing you. They're removing everything from you.
And while they're busy using lawfare against us, you've got this situation where David McBride has said, basically he's come out and he said it cannot be a crime to expose a crime. It cannot be illegal to tell the truth. I may have broken the law, but I didn't break my oath to the people of Australia and the soldiers who keep us safe. Well, they're just going for everybody who disagrees with them at the moment. anyone who could possibly be a threat.
Yeah, the footy is too important, Richard. I got to, I'll go along with that, mate. There's other distractions in their life that are, the Cabal's done a very, very good job of this, guys. All right, you are the difference. You know what I mean? We are different, guys. All right, these people, I feel sorry for them because, man, they're just, especially these people that have gone out and given this to their children, and oh mate, it's just like it's horrendous.
Well, it is, and look, there's so much like the whole green agenda that they've got going on. Like Two Worlds Collide has basically taken a very good note of what's actually the cost of that green agenda.
They say this is about saving the planet, but here's what they don't tell you. Cobalt, a key material used in batteries to store renewable energy, is being mined by children in brutal conditions in places like the Congo. We're shutting down our own coal and gas plants, reliable energy we can oversee and regulate, only to outsource the dirty work to the world's poorest nations. And guess what? To meet Australia's net zero goal by 2050, we'll need 30 times more cobalt than we use today. That means more mines, more child labour, and more environmental devastation. This isn't ethical, this isn't sustainable, this is a scam dressed up as a virtue. Now, some of you might say, but you're using your phone and laptop, aren't you a part of the problem? But here's the difference between me and the government. I'm not the one forcing the entire country to rely on this supply chain. I'm not the one banning coal and gas while we export it overseas. And I'm not preaching about saving the planet while hiding the cost behind the scenes. The government is. I'm just calling it out for what it is. A green energy narrative built on child slave labour, environmental destruction, and hypocrisy. They tell you to make sacrifices, to pay more, to feel guilty, while they offshore the damage and profit off your compliance. They are pulling the wool over our eyes. Made you feel bad for using Australia's natural resources. It's not. It's a humanitarian disaster, and it's a lie costing us more than we realise. What's your thoughts?
And I'll tell you another thing, Caz, I'm watching, I keep my eye out on the net about some other stuff and that, but, we got these lithium batteries in salt water, absolutely deadly, right? They just go up, mate, bang. And here we are, they're pushing boats to get lithium batteries, Caz. They're pushing and advertising for you to get lithium batteries. You go down, you're gone, mate. You know what I mean? If you get them underwater anyway, but yeah, it's just incredible where they're going and what they're doing, the tact of these guys.
Well, it is, which is why, look, the thing is that when I say it's scripted, if you actually look at anyone who's written a film and you look at the 3-act structure, it's kind of like the first act. I actually borrowed this, or somebody sent it to me the other day, but and I haven't played it because it's 20 minutes long. But to break it down, it's really simple. I thought sometimes I just don't end up explaining things. But so in a 3-act structure, you've got the first act, which is basically the introduction to the setting up of the problem. 2, you've got where you've got to overcome things, and 3, you've got the ending and the denouement. And so if you look at the first act structure in what's going on, it was like Trump in 2016 and winning the first 4 years, finding out who the enemies were, seeing what the setup was, and just knowing what was going on. Second act structure was a Biden term where we were basically going into battle against all of these odds coming against us. Third act structure is what I believe we're in at the moment, and that's basically, I think it will lead to, this person surmised that it will lead to the normies and the anons basically all cheering at the end together for something. There's something big that's coming, and that could be right actually, because it looks like that's how it's been set up. But if you look at this, it looks too scripted. Like they're just too bad. Usually they pull back. In real life, they pull back. If they know that things are going wrong for them, they pull back and they wait and they bide their time, and then they sneak things through. But they're not. They're just basically, not a care of the world, pushing it through. So that's why it looks, it looks scripted to me.
Very scripted.
Look, let's have a listen to this guy on pronouns. Very funny.
No, it's
hear this, but somebody out there does. Received this today from the kids at school. All right, it's their transition statement consent form. Scrolling through, blah, 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 your name, their name, the relationship to the child being the father, date of birth. Then it's got what pronoun to be used in your child's transition statement. He, him, she, her, they, their. Wake the fuck up. They're not even 5 years old. Pronouns are bullshit made up thing. If you are a boy, you are a he. If you are a girl, you are a she. That is it. What the fuck is this they, their crap? Seriously, wake the fuck up. And if you're one of these people that address yourself as this, fuck off. Seriously, putting this in children's school at such a young age, drilling all the bullshit in their head. No wonder why we've got a generation of soft fuckwits. That's the problem. And if you've got a problem with that, fuck off too. Put in the comments what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear.
So he's got that, and I thought I'd add this comedy piece in on. Oh, sorry.
It's the story formerly known as Little Red Riding Hood. It's now called Vertically Challenged Native American Riding Hood and the Endangered Wolf. Once upon a time, vertically challenged Native American Riding Hood wanted to take a vacation at her chronologically advanced grandma's house. On the way, she ran into a wolf that had recently been put on the endangered species list. Hey, where you going, vertically challenged Native American Riding Hood? Said the wolf. I'm going to my grandma's house for a togetherness celebration. The wolf told vertically challenged Native American Riding Hood a shortcut to grandma's house. Unfortunately, the shortcut was through a federally protected wetlands. So vertically challenged Native American Riding Hood was fined for disturbing the fragile ecosystem. When she finally got to Grandma's house, she saw that Grandma looked much different than usual, but accepted and celebrated their differences. What plus-sized eyes you have, Grandma, the better to see and not judge you with. And what plus-sized teeth you have, the better to eat you with. But I can't because I'm a vegetarian. And I also have irritable bowel syndrome. Irritable bowel syndrome, and he doesn't even eat her. I tell you what, this book is full of tree huggers and tofu farting fairies. I'll tell you how it ends right here. I walk into Grandma's house, shoot the wolf, chuck Grandma and the old folks home, get Little Red Riding Hood out of that hood, and we shack up and eat wolf steaks. Now that's a fairy tale.
Now, what's interesting is very few people know this, but the original, before even the Hans Christian Andersen version of Little Red Riding Hood, is actually warning children about stranger danger. The wolf goes into there and tells Red Riding Hood to take off their clothes and get into their bed. And she goes, "Oh, I've got to pee." And he goes, "Oh, no, just don't worry about it. Just pee when you're in here." And she figures out it's the wolf then. It is really, really off. And this, I think it was written, the original version was written about 1100 years ago.
Wow.
Oh, sorry, not in the 1100s, in the 11th century. So very interesting. So, yeah. And of course, on a good note with children, we have this win as well. So it's come out by RFK that the Biden administration allowed migrant children to be taken to addresses where there were just shipping containers.
Yep.
So we see a lot of children that are, we see a lot of children that are being rescued, and it's pretty good. Now, we're going out to I'm a Fighter. Somebody's cut together a number one thing for Trump. So, Dave, if you'd like to wrap up and close the show, I shall hit play.
All right. So again, guys, I want you to start thinking about where we are because, spiritually, this is on now, guys. All right. It is really on, right? We've all been on a great journey. We've got a great journey still to go. And, I'm looking forward to being able to tell my journey. You know what I mean? Because this has just been one trip and ride, guys, and we're still on it. We're still riding that wave. But what I want to say to some of you people is we've showed you, and I'm not going to hype on it too much, but we've showed you what they're doing at your schools, guys, right? In certain schools, they are not letting the teachers call it. You need to be those kids' voice, okay? That's all I'm going to say on the topic. All right, you need to be those kids' voice, okay? We can't have this, guys. We just can't have it. It can't happen. All right, thanks, Kazza.
I've been down, counted out, smiling through the taste of blood in my own mouth. I got bruises and broken bones, but they don't know I ain't in this ring alone. I'm a fighter. No one can say that I'm a running hider. I was born to be a do or dyer, a make it righter. Don't throw that towel just yet. Don't cash in that last bet, 'cause I hit harder when I'm tired. I'm a fighter. I get back up, that's what I do. I didn't soldier on this far just to lose. So take your shot, is that all you got? I'm a fighter. No one can say that I'm a running hider. I was born to be a do-or-dyer, a make-it-righter. Don't throw that towel just yet. Don't cash in that last bet, 'cause I hit harder when I'm tired. Yeah, I'm a fighter. Oh, no one can keep me down. They didn't know, but they know now. That I'm a fighter. No one can say that I'm a running hider. Don't cash in that last bet. Don't throw that towel just yet. I'm a fighter.